So please confirm with a quick. Very good. Okay, everybody. So I understand that you hear my voice. I would really appreciate an extra confirmation that the sound is good. So please go ahead and let me know on the comments box, because I believe it's fine, but I would like to get just a little more confirmation. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. So let's get started. Welcome to today's get-together session, guys. Today is July 2nd, 2019. My name is Jose Blasco. I will be your guide today since it's Tuesday. Typically on Tuesdays we do short-term trading, isn't it? So today we'll be looking at intraday moves and trying to catch a few. We'll plan for as many as possible in this 1 hour session. Okay, before we start, disclaimer: the following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradective provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through a demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive on using our products. Very good. That was the disclaimer. And now we have TradeStation. Okay. So by the way, today, as you can see, I'm using a little bit of a new setup with TradeStation. First of all, I'm using TradeStation 10 instead of 9.5. That's a little change. But also I'm using a little bit of different colors here and there just to try to help you spot the key information on the screen the easiest I can. Okay. So I would, by the way, welcome and love to get your feedback as the session progresses on how do you like the way I have set up the platform for you guys, okay? You know, any positive critique will be more than welcome, okay? And definitely ears wide open. Well, eyes too. Anyway, so let's get started today, okay? And we are looking for intraday trades, isn't it? So we're gonna start the day with the S&P Futures. So as always, we have our setup. 15-minute time frame is below. Okay, 15-minute time frame below. That's our setup. We have the 15-minute time frame. In this case, I have changed the normal chart with candles for dots. And this is, if I show you the setup precisely, this is gonna be dots on close. So let me double click on the price feed. So we get that data. Here we go. So you can see that I'm using dot on close, okay? And dot on close, as the name suggests, only shows the close, which, to be honest, is the only thing we care about in those particular charts, isn't it? So we are looking for those candles closing either above or below the average. Okay, so what do we have in the prior candle is actually one of those tricky situations, isn't it, where the dot is right on top of the average. So the only way to know what is to hold the mouse on it, and we have the average to be 29.6543, where the close is 29.65.5. So the close actually took place above. So we are technically in a market environment moving up on the S&P futures, but careful, because in the bottom part we can see that we have a little bit of red showing up on top of the green, which means that it's a weak market environment, is not a clear, defined, strong market environment. Therefore, we should exercise precaution when setting targets and keep the targets close, okay? Keep the targets close, okay? So this is something that we need to keep in mind, okay? So in any case, let me enable AutoUFOs in the same time frame. I will not change the time frame in this case to find the targets, and the targets in this case will be the first red UFO, which is located at 2970.5. Okay, so 2970.5. that would be the location for the target as we speak. Okay, so I'll disable the UFOs. And now, of course, we have an average around 29.65. So we are looking for UFOs around 29.65. Unfortunately, we have none at this moment in time, which means that for now, no trade on the S&P 500 futures. But remember, it doesn't mean we need to wait 15 minutes. In this case, we just need to have one UFO to form in any of these upper time frames, upper charts, I should say, and we would be ready to go. Okay, so we're gonna be keeping that in mind. Okay, so looking at the NASDAQ as well. So we are now looking at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is showing a clearer market environment where the prior close to clearly place above the moving average. And also, interestingly, we also have the DMI showing full green, no red, which means that in this case, the market condition is clearly defined. We are dealing with a clearly defined market condition, and therefore, in order to set the targets, we will also look at the UFOs, but instead of looking at the UFOs in the 15-minute time frame, we will look at the UFOs in the 60-minute time frame, since the market condition seems to be strong. So switching to the 60-minute time frame, waiting for data. Here we go, and we have a little bit of a bad news here. Okay, and this bad news, to be honest, is good news. The bad news that we have is that the red UFO is exactly where the price is. So you would enter the trade just to take profits immediately, so we're gonna pass. So in that sense, it's a bad news because we have to pass, but in the other hand, it's a good news because it also means that there is not much room for this market condition to keep evolving to the upside, and we may experience a little bit of market going sideways until those unfilled orders get filled, and then we will start having some movement. Okay, so for now we're gonna have to be patient. We will re-observe this market condition a little later. What I would welcome here, of course, because that was a 60-minute time frame, isn't it? So it's gonna take us to the top of the hour to find out what's going on. So therefore, what I would really welcome much more would be to have the NASDAQ and the S&P both going down, closing below the average, showing a little bit of red below, and plan on shorting because there is more room for the markets to fall than for the markets to go up, at least based on what we have at the moment. Okay, of course, markets are dynamic. New UFOs may form any time, and the whole market condition could change in a heartbeat, isn't it? And we need to be prepared and be adaptable to that. Okay, but for now, both the S&P and the NASDAQ in the 15-minute time frame and in the 15-minute time frame as a common time frame are not providing a clear opportunity. So I'll switch back to the S&P to see if any green UFO forms at any moment in time, and we'll be ready to take a trade. Okay, if any, 7 minutes from now we'll have a close. And we'll see if the next close with the S&P is also with some red showing in the bottom part, or it's gonna be full green. Okay. What else do we have? Let me see questions there. Lisa, it seems that TradeStation 10 is working pretty nice. So that's why I plan to begin utilizing it in the sessions, guys, because it's it took a while for TradeStation to develop TradeStation 10 to what it is nowadays, but I would say that nowadays is a pretty stable platform, maybe even more than 9.5, because there is much more work and development and corrections of bugs and all those things done on 10 than 9.5. 9.5 is a version that is basically becoming it's going to become an outdated version at some point. Okay, so be ready for a switch, guys. Okay, Geneva, yep. Brent, Jose, do you find that UFOs run any smoother on TradeStation 10? No, it's the same thing, because in the end the engine and the quantity of data that you get is the same in TradeStation 10 and TradeStation 9.5. Good news though, Brent, I will say, is that TradeStation is about to release some enhancements on the easy language, and it's looking like some of that enhancement may help with certain type of market data calculations, and therefore it may alleviate the intense processing power that UFOs require from your computers. Okay, so that may help, and if that's the case, I guess maybe a couple of months from now or something like that, if that's the case, I'm just sharing. Okay, I don't know for sure at the moment, but then we would release a new version of the UFO. And you know, the beauty of the App Store is that automatically your UFO will update. You would not even know. You would just feel that everything is faster. Okay, and if that's the case, I will certainly let you know in those sessions. Okay. Good, very good. So okay, so nothing happening as of right now on the equity index markets. So therefore, what I am doing on my other computer screen, which I'm about to bring into the main screen, what I am doing is I am loading TradingView. We don't need the side one, so we can do some planning for some trades with the Forex markets. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to open my layout for 60-minute time frame for Forex. Okay, that layout has the UFOs and the averages and the reactive time frames and the range time frames. So we have everything in here. And for the ones of you using TradingView, you know, I guess you will appreciate to have this view, because you have everything you need to see on one screen. Okay, you can certainly load multiple charts and do it one step at a time, but I personally like very much to have everything on one screen. Okay, so anyway, taking a little bit long to load today. Not sure why. But anyway, loading. So what do we have above? Above we have the Euro British Pound in this case. So let me go ahead and load my watch list. Okay, and I will begin with the majors. Okay, and notice how on the upper part of the screen we have the 60-minute time frame. Bottom part of the screen we have the 8-minute time frame, also the 8 range time frame. Okay, so what we're gonna do is look for setups. Okay, beginning with the Australian dollar. The Australian dollar today has been experiencing some movement, if you wish, because there have been a change of rates in the Bank of Australia. Okay, and therefore there's been some speculation since a few hours ago, peaking direction. Okay, it was funny because they lowered the rates and everybody was kind of inclined to expect it to fall, and it did for a while. Until it actually hit a UFO and then started going back up, and now, you know, moving nicely in this uptrend. Okay, now the problem with this uptrend that I have, it's not really a problem, but at the same time, since I got multiple currency pairs, I want to be a little more picky. We have an uptrend, and in the bottom part you can see that we got a contradiction because the DMI is pointing red where the uptrend is suggesting up and therefore green. So we have a contradiction, and therefore that sets the market condition for the Australian dollar to be weak. These may change one candle from now, but at this moment in time, in this 60-minute time frame, looks like it's weak. So because we have multiple other currency pairs, I'm gonna go check on other ones. Okay, so the euro not in a good position because it's lining up with the average. Okay, but we don't have any green UFO at current price. Okay. No green UFO at current price. So we look at the pound. We will look at the pound, and with the pound, yeah, we have a little bit of the same thing. We are about to close above the average. DMI is red, similar to the Australian dollar. So I will go for the next one. We have many currency pairs, so it's okay to be picky. It's actually recommended to be picky. Same thing here with the New Zealand dollar, with Kiwi about to close above, but the DMI is red. Contradiction there. So let's go for the next one. Canadian dollar, very flat. Oh my god, very flat, just closed above, a little bit of green, and yeah, to be honest, in here we may have an opportunity. Let me see. So the prior close was above, we have the green DMI, and now we are lining up with the average. Yeah, but to be honest, we're just a little too low under the average. Okay, I'm just being a little picky here. But again, since there are multiple more currency pairs, I don't have the need to force a trade. Okay, so I'll go check on the Swiss franc. So Swiss franc, let's see the Swiss franc. Uptrend, close above, DMI, green below. That's all good, but we are entering the average. Unfortunately, at current price, there is no green UFO. The green UFO is much lower. And same thing happens here with the green UFO is much lower. Okay, so we don't have a trade at the moment with the Swiss franc. And what about the yen? So we'll look at the yen and then we'll move back to the equity index markets. Well, with the yen, it's actually looking much more interesting. with the yen we have a trade, guys. Okay, with the yen we have a trade because we are in a downtrend and the average is indeed lining up with those two red UFOs in the 8-minute time frame. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the yen here because we just closed on the 15-minute time frame. So I want to go back to the equity index markets to see what we have. But we do have an opportunity with the yen that we will exploit in just a minute. So with the S&P, we now have a confirmed, easy to identify close above the average. This is clear. We're still showing some red. So again, careful because the market condition is not clearly defined. It's a weak definition of the market condition. And based on that, there is room for profit, but at the same time, there is no green UFO in any of the upper time frames, any green UFO lining up with 65 or 66 in this case, okay? So looking at the NASDAQ, so what do we have? Again, same story. The prior close is still above, the DMI is still green, so all of this is looking good. But again, my concern is on the 60-minute time frame. Okay, is that red UFO still gonna be there? Which I believe that should be the case. Okay, so looking for 60-minute time frame, enabling AutoUFOs, and we still have that red UFO right there. Okay, and therefore no room for profit until this market rallies higher and removes those unfilled orders, or easily goes down because of those UFOs, closes below the average, and a new market condition going down is defined, and we start shorting. Okay, so still markets to be watched. Okay, so coming back to the US dollar Japanese yen. Okay, so we are back to the dollar yen. So what do we have with the dollar yen? We have, let me repeat myself so everybody understands the market condition. Question here from Dirk. For the US dollar CAD, I have two all green DMIs and you have some red in it. Okay, let me go back to the CAD. I got green. Two all green DMIs. Okay, so we have the same. Yeah, new green UFO on the ES. Let's go take a look immediately. Speed of the light. S&P. Okay, I don't have any UFO. That is probably because we are using different settings. I am using 0.618. That's what I'm using. Hopefully I'm using the right workspace, which I believe so. Let me double check. I am using for inputs, yes, 618, as you can see. Okay, so this is probably because we're using different inputs. Yep. Okay, so back to the yen. Okay, good job guys with the teamwork. How are you, Clive? Very good, nice to have you in the room with us. Back to the US dollar yen. Okay, so what do we have in here? So as I was phrasing earlier, we have a downtrend. Okay, prior candle closed below the average, so this is a downtrend. On top of that, the DMI is red, so we have a confirmed clear market condition. Yes, understood, Orlando. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, nothing wrong with that. We have a clear market condition going down. Therefore, it's a good opportunity to plan on a short, especially because the current value for the average, which as you can see is 108.25, this one falls somewhere in that red UFO, okay, that begins at 21.9, let's call it 22, okay? So in other words, we do have an opportunity here, you know, between those two UFOs to enter this market and take advantage of this trade, okay? So let's go for it, okay? Let's go for it. What I want to do first is to switch my 60-minute time frame to 4 hours. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to look for what the target would be on this US dollar yen trade. I would activate the UFOs, so I'm looking for the next green. unfortunately the next green is right there. You see that? Yeah, 17 is the next green and the current price is 16. So hey, we don't have a trade with the yen. It was looking very nice, but the UFOs are saving us of a fake out trade that it would likely happen by having the yen begin falling to quickly turn around and stop us out because of that green UFO. Okay, green, it was olive green color. Okay, so we'll keep going, guys, we'll keep going. Okay, so we are done with the majors, so I'm gonna move now into the minors. Okay, the minors, even though they are less than the majors when it comes to liquidity, they are still very, very much majors. Okay, so those currencies are amazing. So let's begin with the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. In this case, we have an uptrend. This one is confirmed. We have a close above. We have the green DMI below. So no contradiction in this case. The moving average in this case is located at 72, 72, and 72. 72 happens to be right there. Okay. Now, my concern is that we are entering so close to the bottom part. So close to the bottom part. Also, when price goes down, that 71. Let me freeze the screen. That 71, that 72 will become less, because as price goes down, it will become less. Okay, so I would say please keep this trade in your radar for after the next new candle forming on the 1 hour time frame here. This is gonna be 10 a.m. Eastern time. So this candle will close. I don't know where, but the moment it closes, if it closes above the average, what will have happened is that average will have rallied up a little bit because of the uptrend, and now you'll be able to use that green UFO more easily, where your entry and your stop are not so close anymore. Okay, so watch it, okay, because that may be a valid trade to be taken, but not yet. Okay, so we need to wait for that close. So with the Swiss franc, what do we have? We have a similar market environment. Unfortunately, no green UFO close by. So we're gonna go check on the Australian dollar yen. We have a contradiction, closes above, red is below. So we're gonna go for the next one, because again, no need to force a trade. It would not be wrong if you take it using the proper rules for targets, okay? But at the same time, looking for larger moves, and since we have multiple currency pairs, I can afford to do that. Okay, so what else do we have here? So we have a close above with the Australian dollar Kiwi. DMI is red. The average is 104.82, and unfortunately 104.82. If this is 81, 82 is right there. Okay, 82 is right there, and 82 is here where we have no green. So in other words, same as with the Australian dollar CAD, this is a currency pair to be observed after the next close, because the next close, depending on where the close happens, will likely bring this moving average up, and then will give you permission based on the rules we have to execute a trade with those green UFOs available. They are just not lining with the average just as yet. Okay, so Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, loading the chart. In the meantime, going back to check if we got anything new on the S&P. Well, the S&P is now giving us a new green UFO on the 2-minute time frame. This is 267 to 266. Okay, 267 to 266. Yeah, it's a little tight. Okay, this technically happens to be above the average, so I would not mind to take it if we had another UFO below that. If you had a UFO on top of a UFO, then I will be delighted. Okay, but the fact that this one is just a little higher, and that 66.5 happens to be clearly above 66.20, so this tells us the same thing that we have with the currencies. It's kind of funny, but that's what it is. We need to wait until the next close, which will happen in 5 minutes, and once the bottom chart closes in 5 minutes, that will bring the average up if the close is above, and then we would have a potential opportunity to use this green UFO for a trade, which, by the way, good news, the DMI is now showing green. Okay, so just to prepare myself in case this happens, instead of looking at the 15-minute time frame, I'm going to look now at the 60-minute time frame of the S&P. Earlier I was looking at the 15, so now I'm looking at the 60, and I will enable our beautiful AutoUFOs to spot where is the next pile of orders, okay, and see where they are. And look at that, same case. Same situation as in the NASDAQ, okay, guys? So Here's what's going to happen today, guys. Okay, it's either the market will fall down as a reaction of UFOs on the S&P and the NASDAQ, which is what common sense would suggest is going to happen, or if we have a breakout to the upside, it means that institutions have removed the orders on the NASDAQ and the S&P both, and therefore this would open the room for a very powerful day to the upside. Okay, that's my interpretation of the information that we are given. Unfortunately, no trade available at this moment. No trade available at this moment. The NASDAQ is giving us UFOs that are indeed lining up with the average. Okay, with the NASDAQ is fine, but remember, with the NASDAQ we cannot take the trade because we have the red UFO in the 60-minute time frame, which is a shame, guys, because you know this UFO, for example, is lining up beautifully with 7782.68, which is the average. Okay, so again, we gotta be patient. Okay, there's a reason why this market is moving sideways for a few hours now, and it's because basically those red UFOs are being filled, those unfilled orders are being filled, and again, that will lead to either exhaust the buyers and the market fall. That would be the normal thing, or that would lead to all the orders being filled because institutions end up realizing that the selling pressure is not doing anything, and they end up canceling all the orders, and there's going to be a major breakout. Okay, that would be something very common to happen. Okay, so next one, Canadian Japanese yen. This is one of those days, right, when the market is very horizontal. That it takes patience to identify the trades and execute them. So what do we have here? We have a close below the average with the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. We have red DMI. All of this is nice. What else do we have? We have a moving average, which is located at 82.5, and at 82.5 we have a red UFO. Okay, so we are like one peep away from this entry, so this is looking very good. Okay, but before we get too excited, like it happened to me before, let's look at the 4-hour time frame and activate UFOs to see how far the next green UFO is, and to see if we have an opportunity for a trade or we don't. And we do. Okay, the next green UFO is located at 81. What would that be? I just want to cancel the timer. Let me cancel the timer. So labels, countdown bar to close. So 81.95. Okay, so that would be the target. 81.95. That would be the target for the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. So now that we have the target, we know where the target is. We will disable the UFOs because it's too many lines on the chart. We will move back to the 1-hour time frame, so we are spot on the market condition, which again is a market moving down with some inertia, with some verve. That's why the DMI is red, and we are now planning on the entry. The entry is certainly going to be 82.5. Now when looking at 82.5, our target will be 82.59, and we're looking at 59. We need to be careful because we got 6 here, and the reason why I'm making this point is because you probably remember that when trading Forex, let me bring some of the notes. When using Forex, okay, remember, we always add 5 pips to all stops, and also we add 2 extra pips to the buy orders. Okay, so in other words, 58, which is actually 59, so 59 we would need to add 2 plus 5 is 7, because that would be a buy order. It would be a buy stop, isn't it? Okay, the order at 50 would be to sell. So the order at 59 would be to buy. So it's not going to be 59, it's going to be 61 because we had 2. But it's not going to be 61 either. We had 5 more. So it's going to be 81, 82, 66. Okay, that would be the entry. Okay, so 82.5 is the entry, and 82.66, that would be the stop. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me do some typing for you guys. I just hit on the wrong one. Okay, so let me do some typing. So we are looking at a shorting. So this is a shorting opportunity. Okay, this is a shorting opportunity. The parameters for the trade would be stop located at 82.66. Okay, the short entry would be located at 82.5. This is 16 pips. Okay, so we're gonna have a safety target. Okay, safety target 16 pips below. Okay, so that would be 82.34. That would be the safety target, and then we will have a final target on this trade, which is going to be located at 81.95 as defined earlier when we switched to the 4-hour time frame on the upper chart. Okay, so my friends, this is the trade. I will give a few seconds for you to be able to take a screenshot, and this is a trade to be executed quickly. Okay, because we are basically 1 pip away from the entry. That market is 1 or 2 pips away from the entry. Actually, we are 4 pips away from the entry because the Canadian dollar, at least when I froze the screen, was trading at 46, where the entry is, as you know, 50. Okay, 50 is the entry. So yeah. Oh, by the way, made a little mistake here. I'm just realizing the final target is a buy order, so we need to add 2. So this would not be 95. This would be 93. Okay, so the real price would be 93, not 95, because we need to add 2 to the buy orders. Okay, cool. So let's do it. Let's place the order. I got my account ready here. Good. So I'm just gonna open the tool in TradingView to place orders. Okay, so okay, actually I opened the wrong one. I don't want the DOM. I want the order placement tool. You guys have been very silent for a while now. Everybody please go ahead and confirm to me that everything is good. So limit order, we're gonna be selling bid price 82.5, take profit and stop loss. Okay, so we want to risk, I'm gonna be risking 0.5% of the account in this trade, so that would have me fill 215,000. Take profit would be located at this is my initial entry, so my safety target is going to be 82.34, and my stop we said is going to be it's a 2 pip change. It is for buy orders. Okay, this is a rule. This is a rule that we have where for all buy orders we add plus 2 pips to all buy orders. Okay, and the target order, because we are shorting, is indeed a buy order, so we add 2. It was 95, so it became 93. Sorry, 97. Oh my god, good catch, Jihad. I don't know how I did the math there. Sorry for that. So it should be 97. Okay, so watch me now, because I'm gonna place the order. So it's gonna be 0.5. Okay, and we have a take profit, we have a stop loss, quantity will be 0.5%. Very good. So stop loss 82.66. That one doesn't change. And now this one, based on the price of the chart, will be 81.95. But because we add 2, it's not gonna be 95. It's going to be 97. Okay. I'm not sure how I came up with the math in my mind earlier. Okay, but this would be the real math. Okay, so 81.97. That would be your final number. Okay, so placing the order now. And as you can see, I got entry stop target already, and now I got another entry stop target, but now the second target is much lower. Okay, and this, my friends, is the trade number 1 for today that we have executed. We have it in the system. Okay, good. Bojan, good to see you. We're here hunting for opportunities but not forcing any. Exactly. Okay, and every day is different. Okay, because sometimes you have to rush to execute them, and sometimes like today, it's just like it's not happening. Okay, so let me see what happened now. Okay, Okay. So bear with me 1 second, guys, because I am executing this TradeStation. As you can see on the upper part of the screen, it's a virtual machine, since I was still working on polishing the beauty of the workspaces and the colors and all of this, okay, which hopefully you appreciate. But it seems that I'm having a little bit of a performance issue with this virtual machine, so I may need to kill it and restart. Okay, prices started moving up, and in this process of prices moving up, I'm pretty sure that many of those sell-on field orders that we saw with the UFOs are being probably cancelled. Okay, so we need to look at the 60-minute time frame again to see if we have surpassed the extreme portion of the UFO, because you know that once the clock hits the top of the hour, because it's a 60-minute time frame, every 1 hour the candles will update. And the way AutoUFOs is designed is that it will leave the plotting on the screen until the next candle begins, just so you have a little bit of a reference, okay? So if we still see the UFO, but price went through, even though we haven't reached the top of the hour, the moment price goes through, it means all the orders got filled. And if that was to be the case, this would open up the door for us to begin replanning trades on the S&P or the NASDAQ. I would love to see that, because certainly we saw closes above, we saw the DMI moving from red to green. So definitely energy to the upside was entering the market, and we only need space for movement. Okay, so we need those UFOs to be out of the way, the red ones, we need them to be out of the way so we can start planning trades using the green UFOs, okay? Okay, so I'm loading my virtual machine here. You should see it very, very soon. Please bear with me just a little more. I am taking care of it on my other computer screen. And again, virtual machines always have much less processing power compared to a computer. But normally when I work with different versions of TradeStation, I love to do all my experiments. And in this case, experiments were adjusting colors and stuff like that for you guys. And I like to do that, you know, on a virtual environment, so I don't need to mess with my TradeStation, the one I use to trade. And once I have everything well set up, then I can go ahead and do a backup and then restore it into whatever machine I want to use it as a final version of how I want my TradeStation to be. Okay. Yeah, Orlando, take care, my friend. Take care. Okay. This is taking too long. Let me see. One sec, guys. In the meantime, have we been filled on this trade? Not yet. We're still waiting to get filled on the Canadian dollar Japanese yen trade. So yeah, my virtual machine here is doing some work, and it's taking a little bit of time. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just put it asleep. Okay guys, and I'm just gonna use my normal TradeStation, guys. So relogging in, guys, and I'll be with you in just a sec with the screen up with the charts. So yeah, I was kind of eager to show you the new setup I was preparing, and maybe it was not the best idea. By the way, how did you guys like it? Did you like the fact that instead of a chart with candles, I was using the close on dot type of chart? Would you feel that this is useful for you guys? Oh, you guys are having problems with buffering? Okay. Got you guys. Okay, so let me see. I need to double check. So you should see my beautiful desktop with a beautiful tree and the lavender. Okay, so just wait for me and we will be fine. Okay guys, you should be able to see TradeStation now. Okay, it seems that it's looking good now. Okay, let me open the right workspaces, which is the S&P and the NASDAQ. And we will go back into attack. This is really strange, guys. I'm reading your notes about the problems with the buffering. I'm looking at my side, and I'm doing some even some speed tests and stuff, and it's really looking strong. So I'm not sure what may be happening for this to be the case. Okay, let's do this. Don't go anywhere, guys. I will just cut the stream for a minute and I will restart the stream. Okay, guys? 1 sec.